Hello, everybody,
Good evening,
and
everyone.
welcome to another fun night of paranormal tea time. We are joined tonight by the one and only David from Down the Rabbit Hole. David, don't know Down the Rabbit Hole cinematic universe.
That's right. Yes, you got it. Oh my God. You're awesome. Good job.
We
I'm also the host, believe it or not, of Deeper Down the Rabbit Hole with David, which you've been on, Nicole.
Oh, see, I knew I was going to forget one. You got so much stuff going on.
Yep.
But that's
How are you ladies doing tonight?
good.
Great.
But you know about my flat tire troubles earlier today.
I do. I'm very sorry about that. That sucks.
But things calming down now. David is also a co-host with me on Alienate UK, so this is the second time we're hanging out today.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Yeah, we had a good time today with our pal Andy Decodes, as I like to call him.
I will never not think that that's his name.
Yeah. I wonder if he's awake. I wonder if he's up watching because he said he might be.
I did send him a message and said, with the link, and said, "Wake up, Andy."
Yeah.
So they're like what, 5 hours ahead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Six for me, but I'm an hour behind you guys.
Yeah.
So what is everybody drinking tonight?
Steph, you go.
So I am drinking my new favorite, which is Harrod and Sons Tower of London. It's got a little bit of honey, a little bergamot, vanilla. It's super delicious. And because I'm a little bougie, of course, I add granulated honey and a little spot of cream.
Oh,
Very nice.
hello.
Very nice. Has that replaced the Paris tea?
It did. I think I actually really like this one better. I'm going to have to give you some so you can try it.
Mm-hmm. David, what is your tea of choice this evening?
My tea of choice is Powerade Zero, ladies and gentlemen. Grape. It's delicious. Can never go wrong.
This is true. Powerade is a classic. Got us so hydrated. Get those electrolytes. So I ordered from Adagio Teas, the one that you always see on Facebook that's like 75-cent samples, a bunch of these little loose leaf tea samples. So tonight I am drinking their peach oolong from my new paranormal tea time mug.
Nice. Yes. Very cool.
A sample it, so it's a little lighter than the final version that I uploaded. And I got this cute little tea ball with little teacup with the...
Oh, that's adorable. I love it.
Absolutely.
But it almost matches our teacup, so...
Yeah. I'll need to find a Michael Myers one. I wonder if they make those.
Bigfoot Barbecue is drinking a vitamin supplement with hydration, sugarless kiwi strawberry.
Great.
So
that's awesome, you guys.
Tonight, I thought, since on your channel you're always sharing some really cool paranormal evidence that you come across, we would do a little show and tell and kind of have our own version of paranormal caught on camera.
There we go.
Some evidence. What do you think?
I think that's great. Let's do it.
It's rock and roll.
Hello, Anthony.
Hey, Anthony.
So the first one that we have is
they want to be a part of the show.
All right, so let's do this one. Is from Reddit, which we all know is a really reputable source of content, but sometimes they have some cool stuff. So let me hit play.
Are they talking about the shadow outside the window?
Yeah, the shadow outside the window.
I see it.
At first, I thought it was this guy's shadow, just like with a weird light.
Right.
But
is this Ghost Adventures?
Apparently. Oh, it's from the Ghost Adventures Reddit. So yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Yeah. Have you heard that theory? And I don't subscribe to this theory, but a lot of people tell me every time I post something, oh, it had a shadow, so it's not a ghost. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, but I've heard of that. But sometimes ghosts are shadows, so
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's never made sense to me, but people are adamant that that's like a thing. So if it casts a shadow, it cannot be a ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Could it be a shadow man? Yeah, I think so. It looks
Yeah.
like it, but or it could be a person standing outside and the shadow is casted from that person who it makes it look like a very tall person, but different angles can give a different perspective. So this could be a very
Yeah.
short person.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's
Yeah.
my first inclination is okay, somebody holding up like a poster board outside, but then you notice the head movement.
Yeah.
And so now I do, because I am 100% believer, but I also like to debunk things. I would like to know what's on the other side of that window. Is there, some stairs or a
Mhm.
platform of some sort, like a porch that somebody's standing on that's casting the shadow in? Like, I'd like that to be debunked first. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm the same way. If I saw this on camera, you and I, Steph, would be running outside to check out what's going on and see if
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
recreate it.
Exactly.
completely.
Yeah, you'd be holding.
My
I'd be like, "Steph,
guess.
get in there with flashlight, and we'll see."
Yeah.
My guess is this show did not do that. But hey, Raul, what's up?
We also have David Alcorns watching from Clearwater Beach, Florida.
Oh,
Hey,
welcome
David.
in.
How are
Very
you?
cool.
David without the Y.
Right. Cool name. Terrible spelling.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought that one was kind of interesting because it's typically, what kind of things you see on investigations.
Yeah.
So have you guys seen that where you're inside investigating and you see a shadow on the outside of the building? Have you ever seen that?
I did when I was 7. That's like the most poignant time I can remember, because I had a poltergeist in my house
Oh wow.
and we had just come in the house because we had gone out to dinner, and when we came in, there was a hammer that was standing up by itself on one of the steps.
Mhm.
And we walked in and just kind of all froze for a minute, and then it fell over by itself. Like, how the hell it got to the staircase, we don't know. But at that exact same time, I saw a feminine silhouette in the window where it looked like somebody was walking past, but this person had like a cape on and like a tall hat as well.
Wow.
So yeah.
Cool.
We have a video.
Batman.
This is from, well, I've seen a hat man, yeah.
Yeah.
But my hat man was a nice hat man. Where is it? This is one of our first clips on YouTube because or on TikTok, because it was so crazy. I had to learn to post videos. We were at a investigation because this person was having all kinds of issues in
Mhm.
their house or in their place of business. They had a yoga studio here.
Oh, okay.
So ignore the terrible, terrible TikTok narration and let's watch.
Our proximity sensor kept going off. At the end of the clip, if you watch the blinds, you can clearly see a shadow figure. It was so solid we thought it was a live person. We went to check it out, but there was no one in the building. During a private investigation,
I saw it. Interesting.
So
Yeah.
you see, right here is where
Something's moving, right?
Yeah.
during a private
Could it be that the blinds are moving? Or am I crazy?
So they were not, and at
Okay.
the time I stopped. Excuse me, dogs.
Hey, buddy.
It was so solid that I stopped recording. We all went over because we thought it was a person walking up to the door.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So if you just saw this, you would think blinds moving.
Yeah, it looks like the blinds, and you know how sometimes when the AC kicks on, it moves things that are not like solid, and that to me it looked like it closed, but maybe I don't know. This is just what I saw initially. If we see it again, maybe it's a shadow moving through that
the building.
There's
During a private investigation in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
building,
Yeah. It's a shadow moving through that. You're
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, and
Hey, Joseph.
hey, Joseph. So yeah, that was a little crazy because I had to go outside that door, and the way that it is, it's kind of like this little alcove. So somebody couldn't just walk past real quick. There was nobody in the building.
Oh,
They would have to walk up, walk that way, and like walk back out.
interesting. All right. Hey, Bigfoot BBQ. Were you there when Mount St. Helens erupted? Just curious. Oh, he says ceiling fans also do a lot of things that can trick the mind.
That's true. They can throw crazy shadows. This chat really wants to cover your face, Steph.
I know, and it's making it hard for me to read it.
I move it up here when I put the thing up, and then I move it back.
Yeah.
So what else we got? We have one that Stephanie sent me.
All right.
So let's see this one that she found.
Yeah, this is one of my favorites that I actually saw for the first time on Paranormal Caught on Camera. Now, I debunk a lot myself on that show, but this guy, his reaction
Yeah.
has been,
I've seen this one. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I know the audio part isn't on, but this guy is a security guard at a hospital, and it's happened so many times where he sees like an orb or something come in the door, and like the automatic doors open when there's nobody there. So it makes him really nervous at first, but then it started happening so frequently, he's just like, okay, how you doing? You know, welcome in, whatever, for the night. So that's kind of become his routine, just to say, hey, how you doing? Don't freak me out when this thing comes in. But he's so genuine, you know what I mean? There's certain people that you can sense that like it's a true reaction that he was having. So
Right.
yeah.
I like his. He's like,
Yeah, because he's like, I am playing with this.
I posted that video, and there's also another video. He has either he posted it or whoever runs the security there, where
Yeah.
something does come in.
Yes.
You see a
There's
shadow
two that I've seen on the show. Yep.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, I've always wanted to be on Paranormal Con on Camera. I've already interviewed a few, like Ronnie LeBlanc, and
Yeah.
I told him, but get me on the show because I want to be the guy that's like everyone. You've watched the show, right? They all agree, and
Yeah.
they're like, well, it's because of this or it's because of that, right? And I kind of appreciate that. But like you were saying, Stephanie, sometimes I watch the show and I'm like, come on, man, that ain't.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I do.
And I want to be the guy that says that.
so the problem is, if you say that, they won't put it in the show.
That's exactly it.
Behind the scenes tea that the tea we're spilling tonight. If
Yeah.
you say that it's not real or completely like shit on it, they will not put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my
I wanna
daughter,
sell them
you
on
know,
it,
has
though.
been, my daughter loves watching that when we go to bed. And so even she's sitting there debunking that. She's like, oh, no, that's not real EMF. The camera is making
Yeah.
the EMF go higher, you know, stuff like that. So it's just like,
Super
if my
cool.
daughter can debunk it, I have to wonder sometimes. And there's some of them that I'm like, why don't you give an update? Because there was one where there was like an electrical flame thing, light thing, this light anomaly
Oh yeah,
in the
ball
street.
lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they've been able to debunk
Beautiful.
that and say this is actually a natural occurring phenomena. This is not paranormal, but they don't do that on the show. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you guys realize like updated scientific knowledge is
Yeah.
happening here.
That's my point. I really feel they need a dude on the show that's like, come on, man, this is not it. Here it is. This is what it is.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try and sell them on that, but if not, I'll toe the line. Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
ball of lightning, very strange. And you know, from this part of the country, you know, lightning likes to ball up and go on a trip. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do it. Whatever.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, the beard
Yeah.
thing while you're doing it. Like
Yes, you know. I'll tell you a quick story. Paranormal Con on Camera is one of my favorite shows. Me and my girlfriend would watch all the time. We'd love to debunk whatever we saw in there, and it helped me create Down the Rabbit Hole. So
Okay.
I thought I'm gonna make a page where I'm gonna share the videos that I think are genuine or I think are worthy of sharing, even if they're not real. And
Yeah.
because I would watch a whole show and maybe 3 minutes of the show was something that I actually thought was real or interesting to watch. And the rest of it was like lights in the sky, or I don't care about 3 lights in the sky, man. I want to
Yeah.
see it land and come and talk to me or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
But
that's
but
how,
yeah,
how the rabbit hole was born.
That's awesome.
I mean, you do a lot of work with the videos that you share. You do a lot of research on those before you even share it to your platforms.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like to make sure that it's real. If I get a video and it's questionable where it could be AI, because that's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
I started this almost 4 years ago. When I first started, there wasn't really that much AI out there. And now it's tremendous amounts of AI. So I run it through an AI detector. And if it has 0.1% AI, I don't share it because I don't want to share that.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that
probably
promo
a good
clip
idea.
that we shared earlier, which was 100% real, no AI at all.
Right. Right. What did you think about the one we saw on the one that Andy showed us earlier today? That lightning, those 3 lightning rods. You remember those? That so AI, man. He said that the person who posted it said they ran it through an AI detector and it wasn't AI. Come on, man. Just because he said it doesn't mean you have to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
So Andy showed us a clip earlier on Alienate where it was like this house, and it was clearly somebody, you know, filming from their window.
Yeah.
And these 2 big, tall, like red, they actually look like your lights back there, Dayvid, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like
So
lightsabers, yeah.
Across and then go across and do like a little dance thing.
The noise, though, the noise was what gave it away. The sound,
yeah,
was added.
While it's doing it, you hear like lightsaber noises,
Yeah,
loud and clear.
so, come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
that's
not
too
cool.
bad. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, and I'm on because I have haunted items, and so I'm on a fair few of haunted item pages, and
Mhm.
there's people that are literally like, you know, they've got a K2 next to the doll, and they've got their camera like right on it, and it's
Yeah,
like, and
they'll go
I
off.
keep telling them I'm like, you got to back way up. You can't have your phone that close. Like, it's setting off the
Right.
EMF detector, and you're thinking that it's, you know, it's actually something haunted, and it drives me nuts. And people, and the little bullet lights, I don't trust the bullet lights
Mhm.
because they are meant to keep going. So they will finish their own connection to turn back on, and people just don't want to believe it. And I'm like, listen, like, I've dealt with this for a long time. Like, I've tried to use them myself, and they just don't, they're not
Mhm.
reliable, you know, and people don't want to hear the truth. That's the problem, is people don't want to
Yeah.
hear the truth.
True.
This is true. But
They
yeah,
don't
it's the
wanna
same
hear
thing during live streams where people have their phone up here, like, look at this, and setting up equipment.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to bring Dayvid on an investigation.
Absolutely. I would
yeah.
love to go on one. I've done a few here. But I mean, I wouldn't say it was the same quality investigation that you guys do, but I did go to a place called Victoria's Black Swan Inn, which is supposedly very haunted. Shout out to Curious Twin Paranormal, who were my sponsors at the time, and they gave me a private tour there. So I got to take my family, and we went and did a tour, and it was we did an investigation with some tools. And this is why I was asking about the mirrors, Nicole, because there's a closet in one of the most haunted rooms that has mirrors facing each other and 2 chairs facing each other.
Oh,
And they said,
that's
"Who
where
wants
I'd
to
be
go in
sitting.
there?" And I was like, "I'll go." I was in there for 15 minutes recording, like asking questions, seeing if I can get anything. Got 0, zilch, nada. I was very unhappy about that.
It happens sometimes.
Hey,
Yeah.
Frank.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but speaking of mirrors, what do you think about scrying?
About what?
Scrying.
Mirror
Scrying.
scrying.
I think you shouldn't make a mirror cry. It's very bad. No, I don't know what that is. Scrying. I'm not sure what's crying. What's scrying?
So scrying actually is where you sit in front of a mirror. Usually it's a blacked out mirror. And it's kind of like crystal ball-y. Like, people say they have visions. People say they see things. They see their face change, things like that.
Mm.
You see things in the mirror.
Really? I've never tried that. But I would never try anything like that in my home. So I have a lot of respect for you, Stephanie, to have haunted items in your home. My home is my sanctuary. I don't want to invite anything weird or anything to haunt me in my place of relaxation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I put down rules. They have rules.
Oh, do they abide by the rules?
They actually do. They're doing really,
Okay.
really well at it. Yeah. And if
Oh,
there's,
that's good.
because my main rule is you stay out of my daughter's room, you don't show yourself to my daughter. And when my dog was alive, I'm like, you know, you stay away from my dog. So, and that's
aren't-
it. Those are the only rules. And
But not
I've only-
like I don't follow rules. I'm not a rule follower. So there's got to be ghosts that don't follow. Don't you think? There's like all kinds, just like there are all kinds of people.
There was one
Yeah.
in particular that broke my rule 3 times when my
Oh,
niece was staying with me, and I was
son of
like, nope, we're not playing this game. You're out. So I gave him away.
Oh, you did? Okay, so he would
Yeah.
go with the object, huh? That's cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Put it up in this
So-
way.
Nicole, do you
Who's
have all
this?
3 of those?
Yeah.
Okay. So these pictures are in another place that I work at, and there's a haunted mirror. Now, legitimately haunted. Like John Zaffis actually wanted this mirror, but
Oh wow.
he stopped bugging us once he realized like we're actually using it for what it was meant to be for, and using it
Oh, okay.
appropriately. So I had this guy sitting in there. So basically you sit in there in the dark, you hold the candle up to your face and let it illuminate your face, and then just watch in the mirror. And I took a
Okay.
whole bunch of pictures of him. So I think in this one, there was nothing, correct, Nicole? Because it's hard for me to see it.
This one, I'll put it back up big.
Yeah, so it's not in this one. So, because we always say take at least 3 in a row. So I just snatched the 3 that, you know, could show this wasn't in the last one. So that's the first one, I think.
Okay.
So, which showed nothing.
Okay, this
Okay,
one looks
so-
different.
This one is different. So now if you look above the candle to the left side on him,
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
2 screaming bald-headed alien things. One
Say
is
what?
sideways on his neck.
Hold on, let's see. if
Oh,
we-
okay. I see something. Yeah, I see something.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Nicole, do you see it?
Yeah, teeny little hand too. Looks like
Well, that's his hand holding the candle.
We won't tell him.
no,
You
to the
said it.
left of his. There's like a shadowish kind of hand in the air next to him. It looks like it's just like next to the. If you look next to the head, did you see there? And you go beyond what he's wearing.
Yeah,
and there
so
looks to
that
be like
Yeah, that is just artifact because I couldn't transfer it to my other phone. And so I had to just take a picture on another phone
okay.
to send it to Nicole. But it's the screaming bald-headed alien things that you're looking at there that are very strange.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So when he came out of that, like I'm scrolling through my phone looking, and he came out and I'm like, dude, what's on your shirt? I like grabbed him. I'm like, what's on your hoodie? And he's like, there's nothing, Steph, there's nothing. He had no logos. He had no wording, no pictures, nothing. It was a plain black hoodie. There was nothing else
Nice.
on it. So for those 2 little creatures to show up, and you know, all these years later, they've never shown up on anybody else's shirt or anything. So I'm like, what are these things?
That's
I have
pretty
no
neat.
idea what
That's
they
a
are.
pretty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Is
So now
it
seeing that-
possible? Is it possible that you captured something from another dimension that just happens? The mirror kind of helps it come through, where you can see what it might look like in the 3rd dimension. You know?
It's anything is possible. I mean, I kind of chalked it up to maybe there's some sort of an elemental that were there and
Mm.
just we're like, hey boo, we're here, you know. Hopefully they were nice elementals.
I like that the
Right.
mirror is like being a portal to another dimension, though, because you always see those things that are like through the mirror. There's another
Mhm.
world.
Yeah,
Alice through
I
the
lo- I
looking
love the idea.
glass.
exactly. Down the
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
Keep down the rabbit
Okay.
hole. Have you seen
right.
those videos, or have you shared them with those people who are like, okay, they're looking in the mirror and then they turn away and their
Yes.
reflection
This thing looks.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a someone sent me a photograph because I get a ton of people sending me videos and pictures, and all sorts of stuff. And this one gentleman sent me, I'm still probably going to use it. But it's a dog, his dog looking at a mirror. Now, if your view is you're looking at the side of the dog and you can see the mirror, right? The dog's looking directly in the mirror. The image of the dog is looking at the camera. And it does look bizarre. It doesn't look like it should look like that. But I mean, angles and whatnot, it could be just his reflection in a bizarre way, right? So, hi. How are you, little girl?
It's a ghost. Go, please.
Hi.
Go, please. No, go. Literally, I'm literally in the middle of the show, and she's like, "Can I have your tea thing?" No. Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, I had another one today. I gotta tell you guys about this one. I wish I can show it to you. I wish I figured out a way to show it to you. But it's a woman whose daughter took a picture of her in a car, and it's a Polaroid picture, right? And she said, "I'm going to show you the picture, and I'm going to tell you the story." The story goes that her mom had passed not too long before, so she was kind of in the middle of the grief with her mom passing, and so she's there with her daughter in the car. They snap a couple of pictures. One of the pictures it looks like she's smoking because there's a bunch of smoke coming out of her mouth. And if you look at the whole picture, there's some smoke behind her head also, which was kind of strange. It doesn't exactly look like smoke, actually, the stuff behind her head, but it's connected to this, whatever this is.
Yeah.
And she said,
so like it's manifesting.
Yeah. Yes. And it kind of reminds me of the old days when they would do like a seance and there's all this like ectoplasm looking images.
Yeah.
But this looked like smoke. So I was like intrigued in the smoke. Oh, well, to tell you more of the story, she doesn't smoke. She's never smoked. She had an accident years prior where both her lungs had collapsed, so she can't even smoke.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has another snapshot where she shows the end of the smoke coming out of her mouth. You see a face, almost like the face you just showed, right? But then she showed a picture of her mom, and it looks similar to her mom.
Oh, see, that's amazing. And the funny thing is just psychically speaking, I notice whenever your loved ones are trying to get your attention, they're usually coming up behind you and they're trying to like whisper in your ear or tap you on the back of the neck, things like that. And so that makes sense to me of why it would be coming around this way to get her attention. You know what I mean?
So cool. It was just
That's
a great
awesome.
picture. I get a lot of these. Not all of them are great, but some of them are just like, that one blew my mind. And I'm trying to get her to give me permission to share it because I definitely want to share that one.
Yeah.
The story behind it alone is,
I know, right?
Attachment to it's not like, oh, somebody shared a spooky picture. It has meaning.
Yeah.
It did. And she sent me a voice note on it. And I mean, I people are lying to me or telling me the truth, but I'm a pretty good, I can detect a pretty decent amount. And I can hear when someone is giving me like, "Hey, Heidi, how are you, Heidi? Oh my God.
Hi, Lisa.
Heidi. So,
hi, Heidi.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys have heard of this story. I wish I remember the name of the gentleman, but it was two men lived in this apartment and they were using Polaroids. And they took a picture and they saw what looked like words drawn out in the picture in smoke. And so they thought, "Oh, let's experiment with this." They asked a question, they took a picture. Yes. Ask another question,
cool.
they take a picture. Yeah, and it's like it says something in Latin, which answers the question. Yeah. And this is, I think it's from the 70s, 80s era. If you look it up, I shared it on Down the Rabbit Hole a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And it's fascinating. It's a fascinating story. And people actually will go to this house with their Polaroids and ask questions and take pictures and get responses.
That's pretty
really
cool.
interesting.
I wonder if places like that, it's somewhere where maybe veiled, if for lack of a better word, between like dimensions or universes are there. So it's easier for spirits to communicate or for people just in an alternate dimension kind of thing. You know, if they're doing like Stranger Things with the lights upside down.
Yeah. I mean, I believe there is other dimensions that we could not really exist in. Like if you think about the third dimension, you know, depth and height and width and all this. If you go to another, like the fourth dimension, we could not perceive what it, you know, we couldn't see it. You know, it would be very difficult to hear or to use our bodies in this dimension. If we were to go into the fourth dimension, it would probably be fatal for us. But for them to come to us would not be a problem, I think. And
Do you think
sometimes they can
they're more corporeal, for lack of a
maybe.
word, like, and they're more consciousness?
I think it's because if you imagine, have you ever heard of a tesseract?
Yes.
I haven't.
So tesseract essentially is a cube in the fourth dimension, and it's a constantly moving. It looks almost like a cube that is like 16 times inside itself and constantly moving and reforming because it's in the fourth dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't look like, but if you were to get a shadow of that tesseract in from the fourth dimension and we could see it, it would look like a cube.
Oh, wow.
So I think on some levels and some dimensions, when they, you know, are able to come into our dimension, it's like we're seeing the shadow of this being or whatever we're seeing, you know, and it looks, because if you can see it in the fourth dimension, I don't think we can. We just don't have that ability.
Yeah.
Just like just like the second dimension, it's just flat, you know, it's can't really tell what it is because there's only line, and then the first dimension is the point essentially, and that's it. Anything that exists in there lives in this point, and that's it. So yeah, if you go higher, the higher you go in dimensions, the higher the more abilities you have. Like for example, let's say you go to the fifth dimension and you're a being in the fifth dimension, right? You could actually make a change in your life. Like you decide, okay, I got married to this person, I don't like it, it's been 10 years, I want to go back before I marry this person, marry someone else. You can actually go back in time to a point where you didn't marry this person, marry someone else, and then create a whole other timeline, right? And so now you've changed your entire timeline, and this one's still going, but now you're over here, you're choosing this. Now you can't go back after that, you're done. But if you go to the sixth dimension, you can go back again. Seventh dimension, you can actually live several of these lives simultaneously. Eighth dimension, it continues on. You get all the way to, like, science tells us there's up to 12 or 13 or whatever. If you get to, let's say, 11, you have godlike abilities in this dimension. You are like a god. You can do whatever. You can create whatever. And so, I don't know. I find it really fascinating. I love dimensional talk, and I love everything. Like, I think ghosts might actually exist in another dimension that is not similar to, you know.
That's my theory. Like how Steve married Peggy. Avengers.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about Tesseracts, watch Avengers.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't look like an actual fourth dimension Tesseract, but they use the name. But yes, exactly. When Steve went back, he went to another timeline, essentially. And we're about to find out, because the next movie that's coming out, Avengers, is going to talk about this. He kind of messes with time. He messes with some other whole timeline, and it kind of creates a what do you call it? A collision of timelines. Like if two Earths were to smash together, one will not survive. Maybe sometimes both will not survive. But this is all a Marvel talk anyway. This is not reality. So anyway, don't get me started. I love Marvel.
Steph, were you gonna say something?
No, I was just so like basically you're conscious in one dimension, like this dimension, and then you want to be in a different one, so you end up being conscious in another dimension. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, it would be very difficult for us to go higher dimensions. It would be because the way sound and our vision, it just wouldn't work. I don't think it would work.
Yeah.
We would break, essentially. We would not fit in that dimension. It would not be good for us. But I'm saying if you were a being in those dimensions, you can, like, if you were a fourth dimensional being, you can actually do something that that we couldn't do. If you're a fifth dimensional being, you have even higher abilities where you can go back in time and change your own timeline.
Yeah.
6 dimensions, you can do it more than once. In 7 dimensions, you can do more than that. And
Have you heard of Agnost? Because he talks about that.
who's that?
Agnost.
Agnost? I don't know. I'm not familiar.
It's a person, I swear, even though it doesn't sound like a name. But we've talked to him on Alienate Andy and I, and he talks about the fact that you could do that in this dimension. Like, you could change a decision that you made in the past because time is not real. It's not linear. It doesn't exist as we perceive it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But once you've done it, you're in that new dimension or new, multiverse kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
I tend to
know what you don't know that you didn't make it. You made a different choice originally.
Right. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about, for example, there's another universe. Like, that's not dimensional. To me, a different universe is the same dimension. We're all, these multiple universes is third dimension. Let's say we didn't have this show right now. You're doing something else. I'm doing something else. That's a whole other timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're walking down the road and there's a fork, you're going to go left, you're going to go right. Well, you do both, actually. And you create a whole other timeline where you're going left and everything happens over here, or you went right and then everything is different because you made this choice. So they both exist. They both actually exist. It's just that it's a whole other world. It's a whole other dealio. And I actually had an experience. I haven't talked about it in a long time, but at 14, I split. I believe that I may have split timelines where I saw 2 different timelines at once. I almost died in a fire. There was a fire above the apartment I lived, so I didn't know what was going on. I was just smelled like barbecue outside. It's Texas. They're probably barbecuing. Smells great or whatever. And a man that was up the street working on an air conditioner at a gas station actually saw the fire. He drove down the street and was knocking on all the doors. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here right now.
Mm-hmm.
He knocked on my door and I was able to get my dog Charlie in my backpack and get out. And when I got out, I saw a fire raging out of the apartment above mine through a window. Because I heard a glass break earlier, but I thought it was my neighbors fighting. Well, I also remember sleeping and hearing the glass break. I remember 2 different things, which shouldn't make sense. But I do remember sitting in my chair. It was a Sunday afternoon, 4-ish. It was in October, and me and my dog Charlie watching TV. And I remember thinking, I'm so tired, I should take a nap. And so but I didn't take a nap. I decided to stay and watch TV, right? But in this memory, I was taking a nap. And I woke up because I heard glass break. I was like, what the heck is this? So anyway, luckily got out alive. The fire department told me had I stayed 10 more minutes, I would be dead.
Wow.
From smoke inhalation. So I was very lucky. Me and my dog were very lucky. And I kept having these connections to, like, for example, I had something in the back of my neck right here that was strange. I didn't understand it. And the more I thought about it, what it could be is I think it was, had I slept in my bed, everything that was above in the fire fell through into my bed. And I thought, is this a burn? Because when I went to the doctor to take a look at it, he says, did you get burned? It kind of looks like a 3rd-degree burn. I said, no, I didn't have that. And they couldn't tell what it was. So they were like doing all these tests. They could never, but it started to grow and spread around my neck to the other side, and it got out of control. I didn't know what was happening. I thought it was going to cover my entire body. It was freaking me out. But another weird thing that happened from that point, 2014 in October, I was shorter, significantly, like an inch and a half, which I didn't understand at the time. So before that, I had arthritis, very painful rheumatoid arthritis, and I had it since I was 20. And it during the winter times, it would be very, very painful to move around. Sometimes I couldn't even get out of bed. It was a bitch. Let me just say it like that. And he thought, and after that day, I didn't have it anymore. It was gone. I didn't even experience any pain at all. Till this day, I haven't had arthritis pain. Strange, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I did have an arthritis doctor, so I went to go see him, because there's a regular checkup thing, and he was like, "Oh, you look great, man. What are you doing?" And he said, "Wait a minute, there's something. We need to take some X-rays." So they took some X-rays. Turns out I have a whole other ailment now that I didn't have before, and that ailment is called ankylosing spondylitis. Was essentially what it is. It's your vertebrae are slowly fusing, squeezing out the disc, slowly crunching that disc out and fusing. And now I kind of have like a little hunch when I walk. I didn't have that before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have it at all. And it was weird because I went back to work and people are like, "Are you okay? You look like you got some back pain." I'm like, "No, I'm fine. It's cool." As a matter of fact, I don't hurt anymore. So it's great. But yeah, that I didn't have that before. So I can't explain what that is. And it made me like come with all these kind of like theories. Like, did I have it in a different timeline? And did these two timelines like smash together at some point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or aliens.
Oh, you got abducted by the aliens. They fixed you.
What's funny is that you're not the first person to say that. And I love that idea, man. They didn't fix me though. They gave me something else. But I'll thank the aliens because this condition I have doesn't hurt.
Yeah. But it
I'm
makes
okay
me,
with that.
like how you tell it, it makes me think of Screen Memories.
Okay.
You're
Yeah,
familiar with that, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so it makes me think like, okay, something was going to happen and they gave you this memory just so that maybe you could be warned or something. You know what I mean? So
Mhm. It's just you're walking like from one day to the next and you step off a curb and the
Yeah.
curb looks bigger.
yeah,
Doesn't make sense to me at all. And
Yeah.
when I'm talking to people at work, usually I'm looking them in the eye. Now I'm looking a little up. And you notice these things. It's not like it's, you know what I mean? If you go from a certain height and now you're like an inch shorter, you'll
Mhm.
notice it.
Yeah.
It is a noticeable thing.
yeah,
It blew my mind. And I for the longest time, I couldn't tell what is this? What is happening to me? Along with this, I had another thing that was kind of strange. I could smell smoke all the time. And I couldn't explain it because like the first time it happened was not long after the fire.
yeah.
So they had moved me into this new apartment. And so I moved everything in and relaxing or whatever. And I smelled the exact same smoke that I smelled that day of the fire. And it's strong. And I'm running around the apartment because I'm sure either the oven is on or something's wrong. Or maybe an apartment outside is on fire. So I'm like running, looking for it, but there's nothing. But I can still smell the smoke. And it's very strong. That happened for years. And some days it was every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got used to it.
That's creepy. Like, do you ever get that, like, those intrusive thoughts? Like, what if I'm dead? Like, what if I died and this is just the afterlife?
Right. Yeah. When I met my girlfriend, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, I'm dead. There's no way this person exists.
Oh,
This is not
an angel?
Angie is an angel, yes.
Oh, yay, Angie. That's so sweet.
She's great. But
Shout out to Angie.
But yeah, that has bothered me for years because I couldn't explain any of it. And I kept trying to come up with these theories. And then I came up with a theory that I actually believe in, which is I think there are infinite amount of universes, multiple universes that you can only exist in so many of them. Because if you think about your parents meeting, that if they didn't meet, then they can't produce you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there's only so many that they met and they had you. And so I came up with this theory that from birth, maybe even before birth, conception, even all the way to, let's say, 100, in every universe that you actually exist, because you don't exist in all of them, every moment since birth onto whatever the oldest age of you've died in that moment in some universe. You have not, like, you're gone in a ton of universes if you go back. I
don't like
mean,
thinking of that. That's not very nice.
it's not. And I think about stuff like this all the time.
It's kind of
And
depressing.
it is. And you know
Brianna,
what's funny is
kind of something about that. You ever think that like death in a concept is just us getting jutted to another timeline version of ourselves
yes.
and fusing together?
Yeah. That is quantum immortality, a theory where if you die in one, you get jettisoned to another and you continue living that life. I love that theory. I think about that one often. It's really, really cool. What in the heck is that?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh my God, I'm not talking to you, lady. Good God. That was Siri trying to cut in.
Hey Siri.
But yeah, but
Don't get her going, Nicole.
I know. Yeah, I really like that theory because I can see like I don't know if you guys have ever been like in a near accident.
Mhm.
Well, you died in that one. You just didn't die, right. So I see them now. I see them all the time. And it's bizarre how many times you could have died. Like right now, a plane just landed in my house, right? And it's devastating, guys. It's devastating. But yeah, I can't explain what happened to me. I don't understand it. I do remember having those two memories. I do remember having that night. I actually had an experience with a ghost for the first time also, which was very bizarre at my sister's house. Yeah. I think whatever happened opened me up to that. I went to go stay at my sister's, me and Charlie. We stayed in her guest bedroom. I was really exhausted. It was a very trying day. And around 2:30 or 3 in the morning, I thought my sister was waking me up by she was shaking my shoulder, and I thought, oh my God, what is going on now? Right. I open my eyes and I can still feel what I think is her because her hand's really small. And I thought it was her for sure. And I say, what's happening now? Is it another fire? And there's no one there.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, snap. And I could feel the hand on my shoulder still. And I look at the door and it's still closed and locked because I cannot sleep unless the door is closed and locked. And as soon as I saw that it was closed and locked, I woke right up.
Yeah.
Which is really dangerous if there is another fire.
Yeah, right. And you think that because now you're like in this kind of PTSD type of environment.
Yeah. There's tons of stories out there of people having near-death experiences and it opening them up psychically and they can start communicating with other spirits and stuff. So yeah.
I wondered about that.
Yep.
Well, once it stopped shaking my shoulder, I could hear it walking in front of me.
Yeah.
Like little steps. And it walked around the bed. And this is like a twin bed. It walked around the bed. And when it got behind me, I heard it giggle. And it was a little kid's giggle.
I was going to say a child. Yeah.
It scared me a lot. So I covered myself in the blanket. I was like, what the hell is happening? My dog, Charlie, she was a Chihuahua mix. She was awake, fully awake, but she did not bark, which is very unusual for a Chihuahua not to bark at something that's scaring her.
Yeah.
But
normally dogs
quiet.
have some sort of a reaction too.
Yeah. The only other time she didn't bark, we had a break-in at this house. We were still in the house and there was a what do you call it, a house entry or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And she was scared. I actually could tell, not only her, looking at Angie's face, I could see that she was terrified also. But my dog didn't bark, and that's kind of a good thing, I think. But the door was closed and locked and we were somewhat safe. Is Nicole blinking?
I know, she's like going in and out. What's happening?
Hey. So it when I covered myself up and it was giggling, I was so freaked out by that. It started to walk back towards me.
Yeah.
And I lifted the blanket. I've always wanted to see a ghost. That's like my bucket list item. I want to see one. So I lifted the blanket to see if I can see anything, but there was nothing there. And as soon as I was looking right on the wall, I heard 3 taps. And then again, it tapped.
The question is if you saw that today or had that experience again today, like, would you still be freaked out about it? Or would you be more accepting and open towards it?
More open to it because I'll be honest, before all this, I didn't really believe it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I didn't
And
really
that
like,
happens a lot too. You hear everybody's like, I didn't believe in ghosts until such and such happened. So yeah.
right,
And then there's
right.
people like myself that had just, a really horrific experience as a child. And then we just grew up knowing that this other side was out there.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
my dad was very against all that stuff. He didn't believe in any of it. I didn't believe in any of it. And then I had that experience and it changed.
Mhm.
I mean, I love talking about it and I love, but I was like, well, I mean, until I see one, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see
yeah,
this one, but I experienced something I could not explain.
Yeah.
And it changed my whole life. And yeah, if I see it now, because I do down the rabbit hole every single day. Every morning I get up, I look for videos, I look for stuff to post.
Mhm.
And I spend a good time in the mornings on it every single day for almost 4 years straight. I have
Yeah.
not missed. And that's a secret, by the way. If you want to grow on Instagram, I have over 1 million followers
Oh, wow.
on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, Threads also.
Yeah. That's
Altogether,
cool.
I have over 1 million. Yeah, it's like 1.25 million. But if you want to grow on social media, you have to do it every day. You have to be.
Yeah, I'm just so
Yeah.
inconsistent about it myself. There we got you back.
Hey, you're muted.
Uh-oh.
This happens every time on Alien at UK. But yeah,
I know,
that
and she's our
experience
tech person.
opened me up to a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
eventually this came out of that.
Yeah. I think I had, and some of our viewers already know, like I lived in a very haunted house that had poltergeist activity when I was about 7. And the last night we were ever there, and I don't ever think I ever thought about ghosts at all. I mean, my mom had me watching Michael Myers and Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, stuff like that. So ghosts wasn't
Really?
really yeah, I mean, I grew up on that stuff. And so I was never really scared of it, but this poltergeist thing she was violent. Like the last night we were ever there, she slapped my mother across the face
Oh
and
my goodness.
we headed out. We left all of our stuff. We grabbed my cats. We were out of there after that. There was a lot of things that happened that, looking back, I'm like, I can't believe we actually like lived there. It still shocks me sometimes, but it kind of gave me this foot in the door, if you will, because after that, I'm like, okay, why did this happen to us? Why did this choose us? What was it? And so as I got older, I wanted to explore and decide, figure out what this thing was and such. So that's just kind of how I began. And then of course I started seeing them more and getting like psychic images and getting messages from loved ones that I would pass to other people, so that's kind of how I got to be here.
That's cool. Hey, Mark, thank you so much for following, man. Appreciate it.
Nicole, do
Glad
we
to
got
have
you
you.
back?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Oh my God. I don't know what is going on. I keep blinking.
Yeah, you were blinking for a minute. I don't know what's
I'm
going on there.
still blinking. The aliens got me.
They don't want us talking about this other dimension stuff.
Right? In another dimension, my stuff works. So
In another
Yeah, only if it
universe,
worked in
yeah,
this
you're
one.
mhm.
you're an IT master.
This is Mark DiNardo. If you don't know Mark, he is
Mark.
a technical genius.
Yes.
So
Is
I
that
just
right?
to give you
Yes.
some advice here. Why is my webcam blinking? But he makes some really incredible equipment.
Oh, Mark is
cool.
amazing. Really amazing.
Thank you for following, Mark. I really appreciate it, man.
I really don't know why my camera's not working, but at least it was like towards the end and not the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll take it. As long as you can still hear me.
I don't see Steph glitching at all.
No,
What is
that sounds
going
good.
on today?
There's
I don't know, I
something
was
in the
having-
universe. There's something in the universe and in the atmosphere that's just messing things up today. That's what it is. I'm convinced.
Mhm.
I was having issues earlier where the audio, I could hear him talking, but it was like stretched out and kind of glitchy, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
It kicked
All
me
right.
off 3 times.
How about this? Any spirits that are messing with any of us, you need to knock it the hell off and you're done.
I don't think it's spirits because it's everybody I have spoken to.
Well, that's
Like,
exactly why I just put this out into the universe for all spirits. Stop messing with the living. Like
I feel like it's
mid-orange.
No, I don't think it's mid-orange. I think it's something astrologically. The new moon, something is shaking stuff up. Oh,
Since I got a robot voice, is that just not my normal voice? Maybe.
I don't know.
You sound normal to me.
Andy's Texan accent kind of sounds like a robot voice. God damn it.
I used to have a teacher in high school that was actually from Texas. And he had that real Southern drawl. And he would speak French sometimes. And he'd say, like, fermez la bouche, s'il vous plaît. So he's speaking French with a Southern accent. I'm like, how does this even happen?
That sounds cool, actually. I like that.
He was one of the best teachers I ever had.
David, speaking of mid-orange, I got one more video to show you.
Okay.
So this was actually from Saturday night when we were at Mid-Orange Correctional Facility.
Oh, cool.
Take a listen to this.
Ooh. Is that an orb? Holy crap.
Can you hear it?
No.
No, there's nothing like visual wise that you can see that's going on. It's audio, but we can't hear it.
What is going on?
I saw like it looks like a.
There we go.
Now again, there's a red button. Yeah? It has a REM feature. That's what's different about this one.
Gotcha.
You heard that this time?
Yeah.
I heard that.
There we go.
Now again, there's a red button. Yeah? It has a REM feature. That's what's different about this one.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That was an amazing capture.
Is it me or were that like moans before it even happened?
Mm-hmm. It was like
There was
I
some
heard, like,
moaning going
moaning.
on, and then it's like it screamed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. Very cool.
Yeah.
That's a great capture, y'all.
And nothing that they
job.
heard when they were recording it, because we were off in a different area. They didn't hear this at the time. They only
Mhm.
heard it on the playback, which is just super cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a banshee.
Yeah, that's what it's a banshee. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was, but it was something freaky.
To me, it obviously feels male, but it feels like it's residual. Like somebody's just like they had a mental breakdown while they were there and just started screaming because they didn't know what else to do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, this was actually Todd filming while him and Robert Bandoff were checking equipment,
mhm.
and
Very
totally
cool.
oblivious. They did not hear it at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, so they didn't hear it. It
They
just showed up on the audio. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's like some crazy ass EVP.
Well, yeah. I mean, it sounds loud enough that they should have heard it, right? Don't you
Mhm.
think it? But it. I mean, that's how this works. I guess it just
Yeah.
doesn't show up
This-
everywhere.
Yes. This is how it goes. A lot of times you don't always hear things in the moment. You only hear it on playback.
Very
All
interesting.
right, so we are come on the end of the episode tonight. So what we do at the end of the show is we go around and we say one good thing that happened to you this week.
Mm.
And kind of on a positive note. So we'll give you a second to think because you didn't know this was coming. I probably should have warned you. To think of
Yeah.
happy thoughts.
Thanks,
Well-
Nicole.
we'll let Stephanie go first.
Okay.
My one good thing this week was going to Mid-Orange. That was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun just hanging out with Anne Marie and going and like picking up on the same things and stuff. So and with everybody in general, like we had such a good time.
Oh, Ron. Yeah.
So my good thing this week was similar. It was seeing everybody at Kinderhook Paracon, getting to be part of that. Krista Cesare was there. I got to see him. I got to see Michael Buckley from Unknown Paranormal Society, and just a lot of cool people. I met some awesome people, and then we came to Mid-Orange and hung out with you, lovely folks. David, what's
Okay.
yours?
So I had a plumbing leak in the wall last week, and so they had to come in. They had to tear up some floor, and then they had to put these fans. There were like 7 or 8 of these extremely loud fans, extremely loud, and we had to live with that. And the other day, they came to check to see if everything was dry, and it was. And they slowly took off the fans, and the piece that came back was so wonderful. It was so wonderful.
That's
You take
awesome.
all that for granted when you're not like when it's everything's normal and it's comfortable, but when
Mhm.
something destroys your peace and then your peace returns, it's a wonderful feeling. That was the best part of the week, I think.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
And
glad.
also the Spurs won game 1, by the way. Yeah. Mm.
I know we won't keep you long because I know your game's on. So let's. You want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Threads under Dayvid Down the Rabbit Hole. On YouTube, it's Dayvid from DTRH, and Dayvid is spelled Dayvid. I spell it the way it sounds. And you can look for Dayvid Don't Know. That is my podcast. It's a year, just past a year this month. And we have about 32 episodes. And tomorrow, which I got to work on, I'm dropping an episode where I interview the host of the fastest growing horror podcast in the world called The Horrible Podcast with the host Skia, the Boogeyman Butcher, and he's awesome. It was a great interview. So guys, check that out. Drops
Awesome.
tomorrow. You can see it on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Mhm.
Awesome, and that's going to be a really, really good one. He's awesome.
He
So
is
I'm
the
looking forward to
best.
seeing that one.
He tells some haunted stories that he's experienced. It's great.
So
I loved
everybody,
it.
make sure you go follow Dayvid because he drops some pretty spooky vids multiple times a day.
That's right.
Like I'm seeing your stuff come across my feed constantly.
That's
So
right.
thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight. You even got dressed up.
Yes. It was nice to meet you.
Yes, a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed it.
And for everybody watching, please don't forget, follow Full Moon page. We have events coming up. There's Fort Decker coming up on the 30th. Next week on Thursday, we're going to be at Kestrel Tavern in Kingston for our, paranormal mixer thing. So join us for that and just keep an eye on all the events.
Yep. And next week on Tea Time is just going to be me and Steph. We're going to be kind of recapping the investigation that we have tomorrow night, talking a little bit about Mid Orange and, seeing where the conversation goes.
Yep.
So thank you guys, everybody in the chat, for watching.
And real quick, Nicole, wanted to tell you, my professor, who is no longer my professor because it's the end of the semester, wants to collab. So I thought maybe she could come on the show sometime.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Good night, everybody. Have a great week.
Night.
And we will see you next